Hello and welcome. We are going to cover the topic of the full moon in Virgo that is taking place on March 7th at 7:40 a.m. This is the year of 2023. And this will be taking place at 16 degrees, 40 minutes of Virgo. And so I was reflecting before I came on the symbolism of the Virgo energy. And Virgo is represented by the Hermit card in the Tarot. So this is where you kind of self-reflect, go into your own inner divine, sort through, reflect upon the things, the journey that we've all been on. Virgo energy likes to sort out the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. It likes to be practical. It's known to be analytical and very attention to detail. On the low vibe, there's always a polarity. It can be overly critical. So it's no coincidence that the Hermit card representing Virgo is wanting us to self-reflect, to take our own inner divine knowledge that we've experienced in our life over the past, say, year past period, and reflect upon what is important to you. What is it that you wish to leave behind? And what is it that you would like to take forth in your everyday life? What is important to you? So Virgo represents the throat chakra. So like I said, practical, analytical, but it also can be overly critical and judgmental. And that's where that can cause that throat chakra to be blocked. So it's important to stay on that higher vibration of it. We all have all energies within us. And we also have all planets within our natal chart. And before I do a share screen of the chart for this full moon in Virgo, I just wanted to share also that my way of sharing my passion of astrology is, this is how I look at it. The astrology does nothing to us. Astrology is a cycle, just like we go through cycles. And so it represents and mirrors within us symbolism of meaning. And I love it for that reason, because it's like a guidance system. It's like the rudder on our vessels for our lives. So I just wanted to share that to make it clear that the planets, the signs don't do anything to us. They do have a cycle and an opportunity for us to evolve, grow, learn our lessons here on the earth plane. And my favorite is evolutionary, on how to work with the energies. So I'm going to do a share screen of the current chart for the full moon in Virgo. And when I was starting to look at all of this, the very first thing that came to my attention, which I'm sure you can relate to, is that this whole half of the chart is heavy, heavy, heavy with planets. And when we have a full moon, we have an opposition. So here's Earth, here we are in the center. The sun, being in Pisces, is shining and illuminating this Virgo moon that's sitting over here pretty much by herself. I don't have all the asteroids up, so I don't know where they're all at, but let's just go with this for now. So Pisces represents our spiritual essence, our faith, our dissolving. Pisces energy is represented by the 12th house. So it's kind of a gather, right, of all the other energies, and kind of an ending and a beginning type of energy. It's the dissolving of boundaries. It represents the ocean, right, in the depths. It's also a water sign, mutable. Virgo is also mutable, so shifting and changing energy, adaptable. And we have Neptune, the planet that represents Pisces, in its home sign. We have Mercury, the planet that rules over Virgo, in this opposition as well, in the sign of Pisces. So Mercury, our intellect, our communication. And then we will, on the same day, this is why this one's so big, a huge, powerful pull that's happening, is the planet of Saturn, our planet of restrictions, time, authority, discipline. And really, Saturn represents reality on the earth plane too, right? Because of limitations. And he will be joining into this watery, mutable energy of Pisces right following this full moon. And like I said, the full moon takes place at 7:40 a.m. And then Saturn will enter Pisces at 8:35 a.m. on the same day. So this is a planet that takes 28 to 30 years to go around the whole zodiac. Takes about 2.5 to 3 years to go through each sign. So we have a big collective and individual movement in the heavens. And Saturn going into Pisces should be quite interesting, right? Because Pisces is about dissolving, letting go, creating your own reality through your imagination, through your creativity, through your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. And then we have the planet of restriction and time and reality moving into that sign along with Neptune, Mercury, the sun. And so this should be quite tangible to feel for everybody. So we're needing to take authority over our minds. We're needing to take authority, like I said, with the Hermit card, self-reflect on what we've all been through as a collective and an individual, and become disciplined within ourselves to take our own authority within ourselves and step forward in our lives that way. Do you want to be restricted by others? Do you want to have others putting authority over you, or do you? And I think this will happen as Saturn transits through Pisces. You're going to see a lot of people. Well, you'll see many different things. It just depends on where you are on your healing journey, and realizing that your consciousness is powerful, that you're sovereign. And perhaps for many of us, there'll be an uprising of people saying enough is enough, right? Line in the sand. I'm taking authority over my life, right? And dissolving those boundaries. I can also see this being a really good time for people to start being very disciplined with their mind, with their spiritual practices, meditation, and gaining clarity through that, right? Because we have the planet of Mercury, the ruling planet of this full moon, in that watery, it's at its, I believe they call it a detriment. It's either detriment or fall in the opposite sign. So not exactly comfortable here, but being able to master that thought, master that mind will be very beneficial. Mars is still in Gemini, has been there for a long time. This is our planet of action. It's our masculine energy. It is also can be aggression in that Gemini energy, which is the mind, the thoughts, community. And it is in a square to Neptune. So this can create confusion within people. And that's why it's important for us to take our own authority back, to utilize that Hermit card, right? Symbolically, to go into our own inner divine and trust that wisdom within us to sort out and to be able to have clarity going forward. What else do I want to cover here? Towards the end of the month, another big mover that takes 248 years to go around the whole zodiacal wheel is the planet of Pluto, who will be moving, who's been in Capricorn will be moving into the sign of Aquarius, the rebel, the water bearer. So that's big too. We'll talk about that later. That's at the end of the month, actually. On the 23rd, Pluto will be shifting into Aquarius as well. Of course, there will be retrogrades, so it won't stay in Aquarius. It'll go back into Capricorn again. But there's a lot of things happening on the collective that are big movers, big shakers. And again, like I said, planets don't do anything to us, but they do represent what goes on within us. And they also provide guidance to gain wisdom through the cycles that we're in as a humanity on the earth plane. So the Pisces energy is represented by the sacral chakra. That's our imagination, that's our creativity, that's our faith, that's the unseen, right? It also is a water sign, so it rules over emotions, and the mutable energy can be shifting and changing. So a lot of emotions going up and down at the moment. And then anytime we have a full moon, that's a huge push-pull on the emotions and the body as well. Virgo rules over throat chakra, like I said, because it is represented by the planet of Mercury, our planet of communication. So it's time to get practical, and it's time to get creative. And the low vibe is, like I said, the Virgo energy can be too critical. The low vibration of the Pisces energy is guilt, shame. So keep that in mind if you have any of those things coming up, to be the observer of what you have going on within you, so that you can take that hermit wisdom, right? Because it is a major arcana, and sort through those emotions. Or heightened intuition can be on very, very heightened at this time as well. Pisces, Neptune, 12th house, depending on your own personal chart, but you have it within you somewhere. Psychic abilities. And because the energy of Pisces and all of these collection of celestial bodies that are in that sign of Pisces, you know, if you're not creating your own authority within your life, being that authority in your life, this is where you can become super sensitive and get dissolved into the soup and the ocean of the collective and lose yourself. And that's where the escapism comes in with the energy of Pisces, Neptune, 12th house. So we really have to, I feel like this full moon, right? Because the full moon in Virgo is practical, dutiful. There's a purity there too. I feel like it is kind of very symbolic of the mother energy, Mother Mary. And then there's also people that depict Pisces as in that Yeshua was a Pisces, very spiritual, very connected to creator of the universe, God, whatever you so choose to call it, very in tune, very psychic. And so we just see this energy brewing for opportunity to become more enlightened, and not to be escaping out of it through escapism, but to take an authority back over yourself, so you're not losing yourself into alcoholism, not losing yourself into social media, not losing yourself into the soup of deception, right? Because the Mars Neptune square, Gemini ruling over media, Neptune also kind of representative of the rose-colored glasses, right? Being deceived, it's the deceiver. So the more and more of these cycles that we're in, the more that I see it playing out, right? And that's why I think with the highlight of this is we need to really make sure we're taking authority over ourselves, because there is psychopaths out there that want to take over and be false authority over our everyday lives. And what's going on currently with the WEF is a prime example of that, right? And the media parroting, lying, deceiving the people. Another thing that I want to highlight here too is this Jupiter Chiron conjunction. Jupiter expands anything that it's next to. So 13 degrees can be abundance and, like I said, expansion and growth. Chiron at 14 degrees, Chiron is the wounded healer. It is the energy of those, and it's in the sign of Aries, right? Self. So where are your wounds holding you back? And with it being in a conjunction at this time with Jupiter too, you know, the low vibe of that can be people expanding upon the wounds and projecting their wounds out on to others instead of going into that hermit mode and reflecting and evolving so that they can use the things they've been through in their lives, the wounds we've all had wounds, we've all had trauma, to be a benefit to yourself and to be in service, right? Virgo energy, in service to others, sharing your stories on what you've been through, sharing the things that have made you or wounded you in order to kind of utilize more of the benefic energy of Jupiter and share that out with others so you can help. So I just wanted to also touch on a little bit of the symptoms that have been, I call them ascension/integration symptoms. We have been so far in 2023, huge solar flares and coronal mass ejections from our sun that come into our atmosphere. Some people feel these, some people feel them and don't know what they are. Some people are aware of what they are. And so some of the bodily symptoms, which forgot to mention, Virgo represents the nervous system and the digestive tract, and Pisces represents the hands, feet, and the lymphatic system. So I'm noticing dizziness. I'm noticing today I was having, just felt like chest pressure. Again, I'm not replacing any medical help that you may need. I have been checked out already, and I'm getting to the point where I can tell when we get a solar flare off from the sun. And I'm also starting to detect when we have higher solar winds and whatnot in our atmosphere here. So again, digestive issues, if anybody's else I have experienced, you know, a little bit of different digestive issues, that's completely, you know, Virgo. I was going to say this too with Pisces Virgo axis, that is the health axis. So we need to be taking care of our bodies and our minds and our thinking, and also our spiritual cleansing, right? Cleansing and clearing and taking care of our bodies as well. That is the health axis. I forgot to mention that, so it's kind of important. I always say, listen to your body. Your body's very intelligent. Most people just ignore what their body's telling them. But if you can start getting in tune with your body, which I have a Virgo sun, so I'm very in tune with my body anyway. And I have Neptune, a planet of this sun that we have, and Neptune on my ascendant. So I'm very in tune with my body, probably almost too in tune. Maybe that's why I feel the energies from these solar flares and coronal mass ejections. And I don't know if I felt them all my life, but I definitely started feeling them around 2018 and had no idea what they were. And now that I'm starting to pay attention to this, I can predict. So we're currently in a moderate storm right now. Again, I haven't used this on my desktop, so pardon me for a moment here. I don't use it on my desktop all the time. I usually just look at it on my device. So here we go. Yes, and I've also been experiencing really super hot flashes through my body today too that I used to blame just on menopause, and it's not just menopause. So we had an M class, so it goes C, M, X. These are the highest from lowest to highest of the solar flares. We've had an M 5.04 today. on the day that I'm recording this, which it's Sunday, March 5th. Nope. Yes, March 5th. And then we've also had an X-class flare. So these aren't going to stop. We're in a sun cycle that's going to continue to keep letting off these solar flares as we purge, the sun's purging, the earth is purging. We're having a lot of crazy weather. So those that want to, again, be authority over top of you, that are just saying that we're creating all of the climate change, are full of shit. They know we're in a cycle. I'm not saying to be a shitty human being and litter. Definitely don't do that to nature. Be mindful of the resources that you utilize, right? Not taking more than you need and such. This one came in today. I believe I was laying down, all of a sudden got jolted out of a nap, and I was like, oh yeah, we got another one. And sure enough, my girlfriend on my Telegram channel said, yes, we did. So that is solar flares. And solar flares do not always put out a coronal mass ejection, but when they do, yeah, buddy, they're pretty powerful. And as that energy comes into our atmosphere, whether you know it or not, I'm here to tell you, we're all connected. What goes on within our aura of the earth is definitely, I even notice it in my horses and stuff too. So I'm going to stop the share so we can do some cards, trying to be mindful of your time. So thank you so much for being here. Again, a lot of energy on that one side of the chart, a lot of energy, and then the Virgo moon over there by itself just reflecting back. So there's a lot of energy in the Aries and Pisces, you know, self, our spiritual essence, our faith, our imagination. Don't get lost in the illusions and the deception. And I really allow this full moon energy and culmination to bring forth such great wisdom with you that you can utilize in your everyday life. So I want to draw a card from the Queen of Moon Oracle. For one of these cards. Just thought, what better anchor card than to pull from the Queen of Moon Oracle. This is a beautiful deck. So we have that mutable earth energy of Virgo, feminine energy, receptive energy. So receiving all of the energy from the other side where the solar is, where our life force energy is. So let's do a little bit of our clearing of our energy. We'll draw some card messages. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. I always like to look at it as in breathe in that beautiful divine white light, exhale the bullshit, right? One more time. Deep breath in. Let it all go. Call it upon a divine white light, the Holy Spirit, to guide me always. We just ask for some messages for the full moon in Virgo that we can utilize for guidance, awareness, and even encouragement or caution if need be. We give thanks We give thanks. So I was reflecting on this before I came on too. I am a prayer warrior, and because of time and being mindful for time, when I do come on and record for you guys, I haven't been always doing that, but just know that I'm a prayer warrior 24/7. I have been since 2014. I know the power in our mind. I pray way differently than I used to when I was younger. I don't pray out of victim mode. I pray out of thanks and the awareness that our minds and our consciousness are very, very powerful enough to heal ourselves. So just felt the need to share that because it is important for me. Some people are triggered by the word prayer. I'm not. Yeah. What is the energy? Moon in Virgo, 16 degrees, 40 minutes. I was going to do the Sabian symbol, but I think I'm going to skip that today. But what I will share about that, it is a volcanic eruption. So there is a tangible feeling. If you've been outside, I was just visualizing it when I was out doing my evening chores. We are on the earth, so we're in that center. The sunset was going down over here in the west, and the moon is in that opposition, right? And it was powerful out there watching it as I was doing chores. Very beautiful. So get out and see it. And also if you're in the, you can see in the western horizon right now, Jupiter and Venus coming together. Very beautiful as well. So hopefully you can get out and look at that beauty. Virgo full moon. Virgo full moon. Gratitude is our known card 23. I've been feeling a lot of gratitude for the things I've been through, the things that I'm finding important in life, right? Gratitude. How beautiful is that? This younger hands is holding on to what looks to be an elder's hand, right? So to me, when I see this card, there's a level of compassion, generosity, so Pisces, comfort, and also a gratitude of the wisdom of the things that you have overcome and been through. Be where you are and be thankful. There's always something to be grateful for, no matter what, no matter your suffering. Gratitude raises a lower vibration to a higher one. Do not allow yourself to be surrounded by too many negative people. Life is conspiring for you. As we enter the last quarter moon on the lunar cycle, the energies begin to turn towards surrender and release. Well, isn't that Pisces? It is the dissolving, right? Release the guilt, release the shame, release the victim mentality. To let go of what we no longer need, right? Hermit card, right? Sitting in contemplation and sorting out what is serving you, what's not. To let go of what we no longer need, it behoves us to pay attention to what we have right now, both positive and negative. This attention, paying, and focus allows us to wisely discern and be grateful for all of it. Yes, all of it. Because the nasty stuff, the stuff that makes us suffer right now, it already happened, and we can take wisdom from this. Wow, has there been a lot of suffering? I was reflecting on that too. It's easy to go into doom and gloom, right? When you're witnessing all this suffering. I don't like it. But this is an experience we're having in the earth plane, right? Wow. It already happened and we can now take wisdom from it. However, now is going to, what is this? However, now it's going, and what we have left is the good. And frankly, most of it is going to be great. Taking some time out on this moon to list a few things you feel grateful for will raise your vibrations and banish any resistance you have of ditching old, outmoded patterns. Doing this also turns your powerful focus away from the story you may have started to believe of everything is going wrong. Oh God, I've been in that mindset. Or that life does terrible things to you. Gratitude is a balancer. In fact, it's normally tips the scales to the positive. Wow. And the companion stone for this gratitude card is the ocean jasper. Pisces represents the ocean. It's hard to see the suffering. It's hard to feel the suffering. But this is asking us, right? Like I said, the Hermit card, go into your inner divine, sort out what works for you. Don't be held back by guilt, right? Pisces energy. Don't be held back by shame. You are an overcomer. Those life lessons can be taken forward in gratitude as a gift. Not the shitty things have happened to you, but the gift from it, the wisdom from it. That's cool. So let's try a couple more. We'll do a card from the star codes. Gratitude is how we can balance out everything that's happening within you, within our society. Gratitude. Virgo full moon. We have the card Cancer, Immerse. So Cancer represents the mother, the nurturing, the fourth house, our strong emotional foundations. We're being asked to be nurturing with ourselves through this energy of the Virgo full moon, to nurture ourselves, to cry if you need to cry, to let go what you need to let go of. Some of you may have mother things coming up to sort through, to let go of, to release, to see with a fresh perspective or a fresh sort of eyes. The Immerse energy also, I feel with this Cancer card, is asking us to go deep into those emotions, which I feel it already brewing. This is an intense full moon with all of that, Saturn moving into a new sign and all of that huge Pisces energy, which is a water sign, very emotional. We're asked during this full moon to go into it, to immerse ourselves, to find the gratitude of being able to have this human experience and actually feel emotions, right? To not numb out from them emotions. I've said this often, that being sensitive is definitely not easy, and it's definitely a blessing, but sometimes in my life over the past, it's felt like a curse. I've definitely grown and watched myself evolve out of that. So nurture yourself. You may have a lot of emotional things coming up again that are making you question your emotional stability, even your stability within your home with the Cancer energy. So let's draw a Chakra Oracle and then we'll close this up. I think it's probably lasted a little longer than I expected. And again, just to share a little bit, the Sabian symbol for this full moon is a volcanic eruption. So emotions are high, tension is high, confusion is high. It's important to not project, but to self-reflect, right, in that hermit energy. I almost want to pull a Twin Flame Journey Tarot just to see what comes up too. Don't get lost in the delusions and the illusions, but utilize this energy to do something creative at this full moon. Self-worth is coming up. It's asking us to take a look at ourselves and our journey and see how. Do you talk nasty things to yourself? I used to all the time. Oh my God, I have changed my mindset so much. And I'm so proud of myself. I used to get caught up in the wounds and the things and that I've been experienced in my life that were painful or traumatic. So we're being asked at this full moon to take a look at what our self-worth is, and this is the orange chakra too, so represented by Pisces, the sacral chakra. Do something creative, take your seat on the throne of royalty, meaning you are a divine child of God. You are worthy of good things. You are worthy of taking authority of your own physical body, spiritual body, emotional body, right? Because emotions are going to be full on charged with this full moon. And there's a lot of that deception through the media, could be deception in your own personal life that you're being asked to take a look at. So make sure you know who you are and know that you're worthy of good things. Be comforted in that too, because you see this card here of this person standing there looking at the path and the journey, and it's covered in snow. So find comfort. Feel like that's emotional comfort, physical comfort. Do something creative. Get those juices flowing for this. And again, like this card message said too, finding the gratitude in the obstacles and the hurdles and the hurts. Again, not for condoning shitty behavior of, getting hurt, but finding gratitude of, evolving out of the frequency that would create us to have that suffering, right? The Empress, the divine feminine. Trust your intuition. Trust your vulnerability. Trust your psychic senses. Be open to receive goodness. I also feel like it's just, you're a badass. It's your superpower to feel things so deeply. Be open to receive messages from your higher self, from God, Creator, the divine, for guidance, for comfort, for stability, especially with all that energy in Pisces, right? Again, don't escape out of the reality that we're living on the earth plane, but utilize your consciousness, your intuition, your vulnerability as a superpower. That is our messages for the full moon in Virgo, again, taking place on the 7th of March, 2023. Big movement right after that, about an hour and a half after that, as Saturn, the planet of authority, Father Time himself, restrictions, discipline, moving into that sign of Pisces as well. See how it all plays out and how we all work with it. Much love to you guys, and shalom, shalom.